and give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141.
Tax Relief
The following
Advocates,
program
real
is a
solutions for real people.
Advertisement and does not necessarily represent the views, opinions, or endorsements of Signal Hill Media Partners, its affiliate stations, or its advertisers.
Say what you want.
Welcome to We're Just Sayin' with Senator Vickie Sawyer and co-host David Coble. Join them each week as they provide the latest updates on legislation affecting North Carolina, from breaking down key bills to answering your live call-in questions. Senator Sawyer and David engage in meaningful conversations on the issues that matter most to our state. No matter your political affiliation, We're Just Sayin' keeps you informed and involved in the efforts to make North Carolina a better place for everyone. Welcome to the conversation.
Good morning, everyone. You're listening to We're Just Saying with Senator Vickie Sawyer and David. I'd like to be part of the show. I don't have my notes. Wow. See, we're already starting off badly. I know it's 704. 849? 704? 873. 9929. I'm going to write this down right now. See, we're already starting badly. 704-873-9929 if you'd like to be part of the show.
Yeah.
Good morning, Senator Sawyer.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I think this may be the first time we've ever actually done the show on Halloween.
Yes, and we have some stories straight out of
You
the
went researching.
archives of the North Carolina General Assembly and Governor's Mansion. Some spooky, scary stories.
As if the most recent stories out of Raleigh weren't scary enough. You've got some from history.
Yeah. So these don't involve blood, but the current ones do.
I was getting ready to say it has turned into a decided blood sport down there, hasn't it?
It is crazy tense in between. It's kind of like I'm expecting mommy and daddy to sit us down at any point and tell us they're getting a divorce.
You know, and the problem is they're going to sit down and look at you and say it's them, not us.
Yeah.
Or it's y'all, not it's not us, it's you.
It's going to be our fault somehow.
It's going to be your fault somehow.
Obviously, they're politicians, so they'll know how to shirk the blame. But yeah,
100%.
It's pretty rough. So, guys, the federal government is still on their amazing, longest?
Yeah, 31 days now, something like that.
And when the stroke of midnight tomorrow, my TikTok feed tells me that the EBTs will be gone.
Yes.
And there will be many people.
SNAP benefits.
Yeah. So I didn't realize this, and maybe it's just because I don't encounter this in my daily walk, but the amount of people who actually abuse the system is like nuts. Like they sell their EBT benefits for getting their nails done or their hair done or for getting things that aren't for necessarily feeding their family. I did not know that kind of abuse happened with that system. No. I know there are people who don't abuse the system.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
need
absolutely.
it. And there's always going to be, fraud in everything that you do, especially when it is in government programs. But did you know? I didn't know that you could do that.
I didn't know that. Well, I mean, and here's the deal. The SNAP benefits, EBT programs are so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, and
40 million people, I think.
Yeah, 41 million people or something like that are on it. And, human nature is inevitably going to kick in. People are going to get creative, and everybody has a different, I guess, framework from what they determine necessity, right? And what's needed. But yeah, no, I mean, it does not surprise me at all that is the case. But I will say that I'm a little impressed with how creative people are.
Yeah.
So I mean, granted, I'm not cheering on the fraud or anything like that, but at the same time, it's like, man, people can get creative around these things with the federal government.
You know what? I think we should bring back the government cheese. I mean, as a girl, when she was a little kid, we would have to go to the health department. I think like once a month or once every couple, or was it social service? I don't know. I was little, in buck teeth. Bad haircut, possibly a mullet. Hand-me-down clothes from my cousin.
Mullet.
Oh yeah, and I always had, no joke, I had hand-me-down clothes, thank God, from my cousins who lived in Florida. So summertime I was jamming.
Yes.
Wintertime was a little rough.
Wintertime
there
was a struggle.
no coats. There was no coats. No, but thank you, Aunt Paula and Donna, for sending me those summertime hand-me-downs. But we would go and stand in line, and I remember getting the glorious block of government cheese.
Government cheese.
That was some good stuff. And there was always powdered milk. Now, have you ever had powdered milk?
I have, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not good either, but it's not bad.
Hey, when you're hungry,
yes.
you're going to eat it.
The hungrier you are, the better anything tastes.
We had
Absolutely.
powdered milk and government cheese. Man, you could take a piece of white bread and put a little bit of butter on there. And
You know where the government cheese originated?
No, tell me.
Andrew Jackson.
Tell me. I didn't know.
Yep. He had a big block of government cheese in the White House, and people could come and take chunks off of it and take it home with them.
No way. Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, a big block of cheese
That
in the White
North
House.
Carolina kind of, Andrew Jackson, Andrew Johnson, James Coble, which is all alive, 4th grade teachers from Lexington, North Carolina. There's not 3 presidents that came from North Carolina, but that's what we were taught.
Yes.
And there's actually still at the Capitol building a monument to those 3 men's honor, this president's honor.
Yes.
Anyways, I divert. So Jackson was government cheese
Government cheese.
while he was in the presidency.
Yep.
And
And
you
then-
would come and get some government cheese.
Yeah, a big block of cheese in the middle of the White House, in the lobby of the White House, and
it.
just cut it.
Right.
You could cut a big piece off and then head out.
Well, I will argue that us standing in line in the winter in my summertime clothes from my hand-me-downs from my cousins in Florida for the government cheese put a pretty stinking healthy worth ethic in this girl going,
Yes.
I don't ever want to go back.
Yes.
You know, maybe we should just bring back the government cheese line so that folks who are really hungry will understand what it goes through to get that.
Well, and what's so awful about all this is how unnecessary it is. I mean, shut it down to prove a point. Okay, fine. I think it's pretty universally clear, especially by polling, that Democrats are the ones being blamed for this, which they should be. It is their fault,
right?
100%.
It always Democrats' fault.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you want to restore funding to PBS like that. You're shutting the government down over that and over a debate that has nothing to do with the continuing resolution. And now you're getting to the point. I mean, but you're starting to see it now. I mean, the Teamsters have come out and said, get behind the Republican continuing resolution. The Teamsters.
The Teamsters supported Trump though too, right?
Kind of
soft way.
sort of. I'll tell you who didn't was the Federal Workers Union or whatever like that. They are universally Democrats. They came out and said, get behind the Republican CR. It's time to reopen the government. So the Democrat, I mean, and really it's, a lot of people think it's funny. This is this is all Chuck Schumer. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries, Timu Obama over in the House is not like, he doesn't factor into this anyway. The House can bypass him all the way. This is all Chuck Schumer over when this, you never heard that?
Timu?
Obama.
Like the fake, like
Yes.
that terrible clothing and
Yes.
stuff you can order.
Yeah.
The fake
Yes.
Timu Obama.
Timo Obama. Can't believe you hadn't heard that. But in any case,
You were so hip.
I'm down with the lingo.
Trendy.
But this is all Chuck Schumer, and honestly, it really is because he, when he did the right thing back in March and voted for the continuing resolution, he was pilloried by the left flank of his party, which is pretty much all that exists anymore.
Right. Who is going to elect the first socialist, openly socialist, very wealthy guy who never held a job in his life, mayor of New York.
Yes, and you know what?
Good for them. I
Good
hope
for
they
them.
do,
Hey,
because then it will show.
I love it because all those banks that are there
Yes,
right now.
they're coming
Guess
to
where they're
Charlotte.
coming? They're coming to the sunny
Come on
south.
to
They're coming
Charlotte.
on down to Charlotte.
Yeah, or Tampa, right? Is it Charlotte and Tampa that has the 2 baking centers?
I'm not sure about Tampa. I know Charlotte's the second
yes,
largest banking center in the country. At least it
Well,
was
come
for
to
years
Charlotte.
and years.
We'll love to have you.
We got plenty of high-rise space for you
Yeah.
down there.
Uh-huh.
You can move
Yep.
right on in.
Yes.
But
Right on in.
right on in.
right on in.
But it's it's going to be interesting
Yeah.
to see. Thankfully the budget impasse you all have in Raleigh hasn't shut down North Carolina or anything like that. So that's good. And I still don't understand why Congress needs to mirror North Carolina in this regard.
Yeah.
That if you can't come to an agreement on a budget, then the previous year's spending just continues.
Yeah.
Government shutdown should be taken off the table completely.
Yeah.
And I understand why each party likes to have the opportunity to shut down the government to try to prove a point, to score political points. It never works. The party the party that basically blocks the funding is inevitably the party that gets blamed. So I still don't know why they do it.
I don't know. I waffle back and forth because now, although I do have genuine pain for folks who are missing their paychecks, that's
Yes.
just I still argue that we should starve the government. We shouldn't starve people. So I don't understand why we have to, with the shutdown, why does it have to affect our servicemen and women and our TSA employees and those who
Our
are
FAA
working or FAA?
employees.
Yeah, that to me is ridiculous. Like, why do those salaries, and it seems like Congress should have acted a long time ago on this and saying in the event of a shutdown, then the people who work for us will still be paid. Now, I can understand like the want to haves not being funded and all that stuff. But in some regards, I think some of the shutdown and the scare about the EBT stuff is probably healthy, because then you do get to see some of the waste, fraud, and abuse that is happening, and systemic abuse of the money that I spend to Raleigh and to DC every year. I mean, thankfully my husband and I are successful, so I'm grateful that I get to pay taxes. I just don't like paying as much as I do.
Yes.
Right. And so, and if I am going to send that investment into the government, I want them to be able to spend it wisely. And apparently they're not. So in some regards, I go back and forth because I want people to be paid for their services. But I'm okay with some entitlement programs winding down or shutting down or just stopping at some point to kind of correct some of the ills that are happening.
Well, yeah, and that the effort was made via Doge, right, to look at some of those things. And the problem is that there's a committed group of people who don't want to see those programs reformed. They're laced with fraud. They are laced with abuse. They don't care.
Yeah.
Because it's not. I think for a lot of folks up in Washington, money is just an abstract.
Yeah,
it's not a real
sure.
thing. Federal.
Sure.
I mean, hey, we'll just print more, and so I don't think that they have they can come and talk about how much they want to manage the checkbook and everything like that. It's not true. They don't want to do that in Washington. They hate that.
So as you alluded to it a few times, and I guess we need to go ahead and talk about it. The state government in Raleigh, meaning the House and the Senate, yes, they are controlled by us wonderful Republicans, but yes, we do have a budget. We do have a budget. Now, there are some funding issues that we do not and have not agreed upon. And that is a political way of saying, some people say no, we don't have a budget because we haven't passed the traditional budget bill. But we have passed some funding measures, but not to what a lot of people would like. So this week and last week, the General Assembly went back to Raleigh. This girl did not.
Well,
we had a health scare in our family, and I was not able to, I'm already kind of stink at this family thing sometimes because of Raleigh. I would think when someone's having a health scare in my immediate family that going immediately back up to Raleigh is probably not a good
look and not a good thing. You did the right. Speaking as one of your constituents and good friend, you did the right thing.
Okay,
you did the right thing.
Thank you. So I stayed at home to take care of issues there. So I was not there for the redistricting vote. I was not there for the fights. But I was definitely around for the back and forth crosstalk between the House and the Senate. And again, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
I usually kind of like say, they go back and forth every once in a while and, eventually it'll work out. We've done these things before. This one feels a little different.
It does have a bit of a different feel to it.
Feels just a little different.
Well, and I think, it's funny because, and we've talked about before some of the sticking points, the Children's Hospital being one, tax cuts and things like that. So, I mean, there's legitimate debate and everything like that, but it really does seem like that it has sort of devolved into where, nobody's there's even if there is common ground, nobody wants to step up to it. And again, I'm not placing blame on any one side or anything like that. Yeah. But as we've seen before, right? The longer things like this go, the longer there's a lack of agreement, the more entrenched people can get, the more angry people can get, and I guess this is one of the things why it's good that our state government doesn't shut down at impasses like this. But there's definitely a healthy level of frustration. But y'all will figure it out. It is an election year. Yeah. I know the talk is y'all aren't coming back. In November or December. Heard that before, right? I mean, sometimes you guys find a way. So hopefully a way will be found. Hopefully,
yeah, we'll find out. So in one of the major figurative slap across the face. Senator Bill Rabin, who's our rules chairman of the Senate, sent out a press release this past week and basically said, hey, House, I see that you have tried to and passed 4 bills. One is about Medicaid eligibility, Healthcare Investment Act, the state teacher pay and local bonus, and the Medicaid rebase funding. And so, in the thought is that they passed those for political cover, knowing that they were outside of the adjournment resolution. So you guys remember when we leave Raleigh, it's not like, bye, Sam. Bye, Ralph.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like that. And we just leave and come back and start where we pick up. There are specific rules that can only be guidelines that have to be operated within in order for bills to be heard. And so Senator Rabin, the rules chairman, which means those who rule, absolutely rule. He said, look, good job, House, for passing 4 ineligible bills. And so we're sending them right. We're not even accepting them. We're sending them right back to you. So they said, you know what? I see your political stunt and I'm going to send it back. According to the press release, it's not anything that I've talked to Senator Rabin personally about, and sent him on back and said, okay, like, good try, but it ain't going to land here.
You know, it is kind of interesting to see the political gamesmanships that go on with those things. And, you know, and I've looked over a couple of those bills, read some summaries of them. They're not necessarily bad or anything like that, but you're right. There is a process and there are rules that have to be followed with this stuff to pass it over. And, you know, the game of gotcha is, you know, a part and parcel. I get it, but it's like it doesn't move the ball forward, really.
I'm glad you used that analogy because it is exactly like when I used to play in 5th grade kickball with those cheating other class Mr. Knifephone, and you would get out there in obviously the best time of the day, which was outside PE. Yep. And we would go play kickball. And then invariably, Mr. Knifephone's class would be trying to change them rules in the middle of the game. And you're like, no, that is not the way it works. You have to tag. You can't throw. We said if you're getting. But then they're like, but we want to throw to get you out. And you're like, no, everything goes back to elementary school, all these life lessons. And what Senator Rabin is saying is you can't change the rules.
This kickball thing. It's been plaguing you for a while.
Yes,
right?
Because the principal overruled and gave Mr. Knifephone's.
See, you know what?
Win.
Look, if you got hate in your heart, let it out. Go for it, man. Go for Mr. Knifephone.
Knifephone.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Knifephone's 5th grade class at Northwest Elementary School.
Okay. Now, is he retired now?
I'm sure.
Or is he probably still? Or is he still cheating?
I'm about 100 years old, and so was he when he was teaching.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well, then, yeah. So he's not.
So I don't think it. God, he was a good teacher, but his children were devils of the devil, cheaters. But no, I mean, you know, I just remember that anger of. Obviously, I remember that anger as I just expressed it on
and you were
something that was 40
it.
years ago. 40 years ago. But you know, we've all been in those situations where you're going to play a game and somebody that your opponent is trying to change the rules halfway through the game.
Yes.
And you're like, dude, that's not the agreed upon rules. Like it's not the agreed upon rules. And now you're going to change the game?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yes. No,
that is not
it's
cool.
It's not at all. And, obviously, Senator Rabin, who never at a loss for words or for.
No,
or
he is at a loss for words. He's not a loss. He's not at a loss for words. He chooses his words well.
Yes, he does.
But you may not want to hear them.
Yes, no. I will. Speaking from experience, when Senator Rabin speaks, you listen. He has the EF Hutton down there.
He doesn't speak a lot, but when he does, it does.
Yes,
it's
impactful. But like I said, I think you guys will come to.
I don't.
You don't think you'll come to not even in April when the primaries are done or anything like that.
No, I think we're all just going to write it down.
Really?
No. I'm just kidding. Just something to say something different. I don't know, but I was trying to give everybody a fright for Halloween.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. It's like, there's no hope.
You know, there is hope and all this other stuff, but I mean, it's pretty toxic right now. And,
something will change. Here's what happened. Here's what I have learned. Inevitably, something will change. Circumstances will dictate something moving. And that'll get people going again. I think there will be some kind of change, some kind of outreach, some kind of factor that I think will pick. All right. We've got a little opening here. We do a little bit here. We do a little bit there. And a little bit of compromise here.
We got 2 country lawyers up there who are leading the House and the Senate. I don't see it. I mean, there's one thing I know about country guys, and they are very stubborn. So.
Well, but I think the difference is the 2 country lawyers leading up there can't bill by the hour for this work. So I think there's probably a little bit more incentive to get it done. Like dragging it out doesn't pad the fees or anything like that. No offense to my good lawyer friends or anything like that.
Yeah,
but they're not paid by the hour for that. They're being paid the same pittance everybody else is for being up there.
Yeah, so we're just like we truly tongue in cheek about this stuff, and we do take it seriously. But we, again, David, I hear you. Hope rings eternal, and it is. We feel like we've been here before, and we will. It's just because it's uncharted territory because there is a new speaker that we haven't had in a long time, and so folks are, guessing and double guessing and questioning everything that's going on because they've just never seen that dynamic. And it's basically like, the same thing between Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons when they're going to battle every year. You just don't know who's going to be stronger, who's going to win. And sometimes the Panthers will pull up an upset.
Every now and then.
Aren't you
did.
proud?
I mean,
Aren't you proud?
I'm very proud. You made a football
I actually made
analogy.
a football analogy, and I referenced a win by the Carolina Panthers over the Atlanta Falcons.
I mean, look at that. Look at you. You're just growing by leaps and bounds.
Well,
you got
internally,
yes,
yeah,
internally.
Externally too. But let's talk about it.
Stop it. But one thing you all did come together on was redistricting.
Yeah.
So you did come together on
I
that.
had nothing to do with that. So this is there's already 2 lawsuits that are being are waged on that. But so I had nothing to do with the one in North, and like literally our elections chairs, and I wasn't there for the vote, so I do not speak from any kind of knowledge, but I will talk about other states. Did you know that there are like Democratic states? I didn't realize this. There are Democratic states who tried to redistrict Republicans out, and they just could not draw the lines anymore to get any fewer Republicans.
Yes, doesn't surprise me.
I had no idea. I'm like, what? So, yeah, I mean, it's not my...
Well, they need to take a lesson from when Roy Cooper was drawing lines.
Mel Watt.
And Mel Watt was drawing lines down here because I still remember the snake that curved just through part of Charlotte. We're sitting in the snake right now. It was the most, and I wish I could find that graphic, but it was just a snake. And honestly, there was almost a split in it. It was almost like it just went down one little street to get over to the next portion.
It went up 77 and over towards 40, and it just everything that you could do to get every Democrat packed around that so that Congressman Watt could win.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You know what always was fun for me though, the fun fact, and so Governor Cooper, who's now running for North Carolina Senate at the federal level, he was a part of the veto and stuff for the governor, like he was part of the legislature and all that other stuff, and he was part of the thing that said that governor couldn't veto redistricting. He wrote the law.
I think that's fantastic.
Isn't that fantastic?
I love that. And I will say this. I think that it's interesting because I saw a political ad come across my feed. Cooper's already going hot and heavy after Whatley. And I saw one come across that said, Michael Whatley has let Western North Carolina
I saw that.
down. And I'm like, dude, you were governor.
Right.
I mean, you were governor during these natural disasters. You were governor when aid didn't flow. You were governor that mishandled the DMV. Michael Whatley has never been in a position to affect any type of legislation or anything like that or execute on it, right? I mean, he's head of the GOP. He advocates for candidates, something like that. No piece of legislation has ever been signed by and no executive function. That was all Roy Cooper.
Yep.
So anything you want to throw current problems that we sit in right now, brother, that's on your doorstep. And I really hope people are not naive enough to believe that Michael Whatley can be blamed for any of that.
It is very smart politically for them to punch on their weak parts so that they can get the narrative out first that the other guy was bad, not the guy who was in charge is bad. That's that's just very interesting that
even though the other guy had absolutely no ability to affect anything that you're punching him about.
Let's talk about the folks from Eastern North Carolina who are still living in rented housing and shelters for 8 years since Hurricane Michael.
What have we built? 3 houses?
Something ridiculous.
Since Hurricane Michael? Or
gazillions of dollars.
Gazillions of dollars later?
Yeah. Don't get me started on Cooper. Well, you know what? I'll continue to get started on Cooper because I didn't think he was a terrible governor. I just really, really do. I see some of the things he did with DMV and DOT and the things that affect in hurricane recovery. He was awful. And COVID, do not forget the pain of COVID. That is all on him
Yes.
and Dr. That's actually who I should dress up as for Halloween. That's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
What was that?
Dr. Mandy Cohen.
Oh, man. Oh, yes.
And her putting on a mask as she walks to the front step. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember.
Where she
Put it
was
on just in
maskless,
time,
and then as soon as
for the press
cameras come
conference, and the
on?
cameras
Yeah,
come off,
good
took it off.
God,
Yeah. All political
That
theater.
is. Can we not talk about? I get excited about it between Mr. Knifephone and cough and
Well,
COVID.
Knifephone got it going, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Knifephone got it going.
He got it going, and so it's like. But before we go to break, we
can
got
I
a couple
tell-
minutes. Tell a story.
Can I tell one
Absolutely.
story?
It's your story. It's your
Do you want to hear
story.
about
It's
an
your show.
elevator, cigar smoke, or a haunted bed?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's start with the elevator.
Okay.
Because I have a thing about elevators anyway.
What is your thing?
I don't like elevators.
Why?
Because
Ooh, now
one,
that I know that,
it
I'm
puts me
gonna screw with you.
exponentially too close to other human beings.
Okay.
And then the second is like the shuts you in. I'm not completely claustrophobic, but being in an enclosed space for a certain period of time would get me there. So I have a thing about elevators.
Interesting. Okay. Well, so did Mr. Jackson, who was the nighttime watchman at the Capitol building for years and years. The elevator itself is very vintage. And in fact, if you've ever seen one, it's a manually operated elevator.
With like the lever.
Yeah, somebody gets in and then they have to do it. So it's a manually operated elevator in the Capitol building. Well, what does that mean? That means that someone needs to be inside of it in order for it to operate. But Mr. Jackson, knowing that he was the only living soul in the Capitol building, when he would walk the floors, he would hear the elevator start to go up and up and up. And then the door would open and it would go down. Now, you think Mr. Jackson would go
Can
and
you stop
look.
talking like that? You're kind of weirding me out.
This is Victoria.
No, that's not Victoria. that's a Victoria bub or something like that. No, I finished your story. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna slide over here.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, you would think would go and look to see who was coming off the elevator, and in fact, he tried to, but he was too scared and frightened.
Well,
So we have no idea who made the elevator go up and down.
Well, Mr. Jackson clearly understood the first rule. Don't go look at the noise. Don't go looking for what caused the noise. That's any horror movie.
Every white
Every
girl
horror movie,
who's in their teenage
every
girl-
white babysitter girl
Yes.
in all those 80s movies, they all made the mistake of going and looking for the noise. What made the noise? Bad move. Bad move. And like so, and that's what I do love. I do enjoy because like all the old 80s horror movies are playing right now and everything like that, and all of them are so formulaic. I can remember being terrified by these movies when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and now I watch them and I'm just like, really? Like, this scared me? Like, I can't believe I was ever scared by this.
It was a
And
different time.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. Jason was scary. Friday the 13th was scary. Freddy Krueger was scary.
Yes.
Scary.
Yes, Poltergeist. Poltergeist was
Oh,
messed
Poltergeist
up.
is still scary.
So when we get back from the break, I want to talk about Poltergeist because I watched it with my kids for the first time.
Okay.
And I noted something in there that I had totally forgotten, and I want to bring it back up
Okay.
again. You're listening to We're Just Saying. We'll be right back.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
We all want more for North Carolina. More boundless views, more adventures in the outdoors, and more clean roads to get there. But to get more, we have to do less. Less littering, that is. Make it your nature to trash your trash and keep NC clean. And we'll all have more reasons to love North Carolina. Litter less, get more. For more on the 7 outdoor NC Leave No Trace principles, visit OutdoorNC.com. Sponsored by the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters and Visit North Carolina, a part of the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina in cooperation with this station.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right
that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Bravo, Brenda. You've always been a saver. Price matching your price matches. The self-proclaimed queen of extreme couponing. But this time, you've truly outdone yourself. By saving for this electric vehicle, you're locking in up to $1,000 a year in fuel and maintenance savings, which will leave you saying, cha-ching, every time you unplug. Good for your wallet, great for the planet. That's the power of EV. Sponsored by the NC Clean Energy Technology Center and the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters in cooperation with this station.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying with Senator Vickie Sawyer and David. Like to be part of the show, 704-873-9929. We are streaming live on the Facebook page if you'd like to join. But yeah, really, back to Poltergeist, 80s horror movies. So I'm watching it with my kids. And if you remember the plot of Poltergeist, it's at the end you find out that a big housing mill was built on an Indian graveyard or a big graveyard and everything. And they moved the headstones, didn't move the bodies. And this guy's house is a big poltergeist. The daughter disappears, the one that sits in front of the screen. Well, anyway, there's the brother who's the middle child. And he's like 11 or 12 or something like that. And they decide to send him away. And I'd completely forgotten this. The scene is the mother and the father waving bye to him with tears in their eyes. They stick the kid in a yellow cab by himself to send him to the grandparents. No cell phones, no adult riding with him. They just send him away. And my son looks at me and he goes, wait, they're not going with them? And I was like, buddy, we were built different in the 80s. We were built different in the 80s. But I could not stop laughing because they put the little kid in the yellow cab by himself to go with no cell phones, no tracking. There's no GPS or anything like that. It's just a wing and a prayer. You hope the yellow cab guy is a good enough guy to get him to grandma's house.
So I was that kid.
Really?
I'm serious. So I spent several summers with my grandparents in Hiwassee, Georgia. So this Hiwassee is in the mountains just south of Franklin. So look at the very tip of North Carolina, westernmost part, go south about 20 miles, Hiwassee, Georgia. Okay. So my mom wouldn't come and get me from my grandparents because, I'm a delightful. I don't know why she wouldn't, but neither here nor there. So the way I was going to get home from Hiwassee, Georgia, is they drove me to the Greyhound bus station at age 11 or 12. This might be 12. They dropped me off in Franklin, North Carolina on the Greyhound bus. Now I'm going to Winston-Salem.
That's not a quick trip.
And guess where else we go?
Where?
We go literally by the prison and we pick up prisoners at the closest bus. It was at Asheboro or Asheville. It had to be Asheville. Somewhere there was a state prison. And the prisoners, and the reason why I know this is because I befriended one. So the prisoner, we stopped and picked them up and they were getting on the bus to go from where they were to Charlotte. So that was like our big thing. Okay. Wow. And then I had a connector bus from Charlotte to Winston. Okay, here's the story. It was a new bus driver. We were going from Asheville to Charlotte. She took a wrong turn. She got off. She went down the freaking two-way roads. We got the Greyhound stuck on the side of the mountain.
Oh, no.
We were sitting there. So my whatever hour trip turned into... people were smoking on the inside of the bus. They were so nervous. That's why I knew that the guys had gotten out of prison because I'm just sitting there talking to them because I'm all by myself. There's nobody else to talk to. It was
So what were you in for?
Crazy. So then they had to drive the bus down this 2-lane country road because the lady was too nervous who was the bus driver there. So they got a substitute bus driver in. So we're literally driving down the side of this mountain in a Greyhound bus and it's just like a cliff face over here. By that time, it was like 12 o'clock at night. It was we did not get into Charlotte until wee hours of the morning. I made some very good prisoner friends. Not in that way. They were nice. They were nice.
They were nonviolent. They were
nonviolent. Again, I still had buck teeth and probably a bad haircut, so they didn't want to touch me. And then... And I finally made it home to Winston-Salem. So wow. I get it. I had like maybe $5 in my pocket, so I was hungry the whole time. I had nothing for food.
Poor thing.
What? I mean, didn't everybody go through that? What,
I just can't wait. I just can't wait till the movie Made About Your Life has this scene. In
Oh my gosh!
I feel like
scary.
I feel like that it'll be most excellent. Like who's playing you in the movie About Your Life? That'll eventually happen.
Sandra Bullock, of course. Oh, wait a minute. Now she's a little aged.
Yeah, I was gonna say by the time the movie's made, she might be a little aged.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But anyways, yeah.
The Breaking Bad guy's playing me.
We just grew up differently.
I forget his name, but he's playing me.
Walter White.
Yeah, him.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
he's playing me. He's playing me.
So, but yeah, we just grew up differently. I just grew up differently. Yes, between Mr. iPhone and the Greyhound bus, and yeah.
But it was just funny to me. Then my son was just completely shocked that they just stuck him in the yellow cab by himself. But real quick, in other horror news, the DMV,
the DMV
had hearings this week.
Yeah, it was the same kind of show. The House, and I'm glad the House is doing this. They're calling the DMV in front of them. And again, we always hear these excuses for that agency's failure under Governor Cooper's leadership. That that we just didn't have enough. The General Assembly, historically, underfunded them, and that is just baloney because. As you remember, and we've said times on the show, is that, and according to our fiscal research team, we have funded multiple IT modernization projects in the DMV totaling $160 million over the last 10 years, and only $30 million to $40 million of those dollars has been spent.
Wow.
Yeah, we have been funding them. We have been giving them the money. We've given them the tools in order to do things. And then they just sit there and cry, uncle, that weird, mean old legislator bad. No, just but thankfully, again, we have a new commissioner. Hopefully, he really seems to be engaged. We have a new IT department secretary. She seems to be engaged. Hopefully, we get better service for all of North Carolinians because it is rotten.
Yes.
It's rotten. So also... if a city picks up your trash, in other words, if you have the town of Mooresville or city of Statesville or city of Charlotte, then you need to be voting.
Yes.
So if you have municipal trash, then you need to be municipally voting.
Yeah. Well, and
vote.
And early voting numbers in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Exceptionally high right now.
Especially in Matthews. Did you see that?
Especially in Matthews. I did see that. Of course, but I think doesn't Matthews only account for 5,000 or 6,000 people or something. Matthews isn't that big.
I don't know.
But in any case, Matthews. I'm sure they're. I don't believe they were fans of the transit. The transit thing. But the rest of the city, obviously. I mean, I was looking at some. Stuff they could top 200,000 for a municipal election. That's almost 25%. 30% for a municipal election.
There's a lot going on in Charlotte, and people are probably very frustrated, especially the Fraternal Order of Police have been active about the leadership of the city council and, not being supportive, and how, Irina Zaruska, and I think I finally said her name right. Forgive me for that, for not being able to enunciate it sooner. And, there's a lot of crime that's issued. And, we have a good friend, Tarek Bakari's wife is actually on the...
Got to see her this week.
Did you,
I got to see her this week, and she's killing it out there.
Good.
She really is. I feel her
dynamite.
And Edwin Peacock, I think, has got
Councilman Peacock.
Councilman Peacock's got a very good chance as well. But I think Krista, based off the conversations and sort of the buzz, I really feel like that Krista's going to win that seat, and which is great because she's fantastic.
She is.
If we're being honest, much better than her husband. I mean, we really are upgrading in the Bakari world with getting Krista.
Yeah.
And I love Tarek.
I know. We all do.
And he would probably agree.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Charlotte. Mooresville early voting numbers are really strong as well. I'll be interested to see if those early voting numbers are just bogarting people that normally vote on election day, or if we're going to see the same election day turnout. I'll be interested to see sort of what the numbers are, because as a general rule, Mooresville doesn't get better than 10 to 12% turnout for a municipal election. So we'll see how that shakes out. Troutman, haven't heard a whole lot about Troutman.
But going back to this whole municipal election thing, I still say we should do it the same time the president gets elected and we get elected. I really do. I know there's both back and forth, but I mean, the turnout is terrible. There's there's something, the camaraderie when you're on the ballot at the same time with people. And I feel like the city folks are separated from us. And so it would be nice if they were with us, and we would have more of a, camaraderie among those who are elected at the local level. I just, Raleigh moved to, on-cycle elections not too long ago, just more people get out and vote.
Yes.
I think it's just time. I think it's time because this is too confusing.
And I understand the arguments. People who run at the local level, obviously, and I held this view, when I was there, is it's a lot tougher to break through the noise when you're because when you're talking about a national election and everything like that, if you got a national election, Senate, House, state reps, governors, and everything like that, it's very difficult to break through the noise in that, and so and also it costs a lot more money to break through the noise and everything like that. But I do agree the extra cost involved for such low voter turnout in a lot of these things, I really feel like just put everything on the same cycle and get it all taken care of at the same time.
I completely agree. Our handy dandy research team here has just told us that as of Monday, there were just over 14,000 people who had voted in Iredell, and I think we have like 156,000 registered voters, something like that. We have 190,000 population, so just under 10% of Iredell County voters have turned out.
Yeah. So Statesville obviously has a lot of people running.
Yeah.
Feasibly, nearly brand new board up there. So it's going to be interesting how that shakes out.
Yeah. And the city of Charlotte, though, when you were talking about that, we only have 3 days left in early voting, and there's 50% more people have turned out to vote at this point than 2 years ago.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
That's interesting. I don't know that that's good for the trans. I don't know. I'm interested. What are the prevailing winds about the transit tax and that? Because if Matthews and Mint Hill are turning out in larger numbers, is what they're telling us, and they are generally opposed.
Yes.
Because they didn't get the plan that they wanted to. I wonder how that transit tax
I'm interested in it too.
Turn out.
I know that I had talked to a couple people heavily involved in it, that they felt like the numbers and the models and who they were tracking voter wise did seem to favor them. Now, this is of course outside the Matthews Mint Hill area, but that's where the majority of the voters are, is outside those two areas.
Yeah.
And so, but conventional wisdom would generally tell you that people, when you have a lot of mobilization with something like this, it's generally anti, not so much for.
Right, that's what I was
thinking. But also, I think that there is a reasonable case to be made that there's a lot of people coming out and interested in voting for this because of the safety factor, because of wanting to get more money into transit to be able to fund better security and things like that. So, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think conventional wisdom would say that it's an anti-vote, but based off the people that I've talked to, it doesn't seem like it's splitting that way.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm always excited to.
We'll know on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll definitely know.
Well, you'll know
when
early vote numbers come in. When early vote numbers come in on Tuesday, that's going to give you a very good indication of where things are going. Sometimes things can shift after early voting has come in if you got an unusually high. But I think from a municipal election standpoint, given the turnout numbers, I think once election, and generally early voting numbers are posted by 8:30, 9 o'clock. After because polls generally close at 7:30. So you'll see those. Well, I think we'll know then. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see because passing the transit, the ability to put it, passing the transit tax is just one thing. Then it comes to actually standing up. The full authority comes into putting everything in play, organizing, working with the other ministries. There's a lot of work to go into that. Once assuming the transit tax passes.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. Election day is always tough to get to, but so much fun that night. And so I'm assuming that I'm spending time with you wherever we are on election night on
Tuesday. Absolutely.
Okay. I guess it's the typical hangout. I guess is where we'll end
up
being.
So.
Okay.
I assume
good.
so. It's questionable whether or not I'm going to be invited to some of those things. Given my shady background in all these days, but. But anyway.
No, it's just the way things. Yeah, never mind. Hey, so you
still associate with me. That's all that matters.
Aww.
That's all that matters. As long as you still associate with me, we're good.
Look, you and I talk mainly on this radio show. I think that's about all we talk, and we text every once in a while through the week. Our show prep is literally sitting here beforehand.
Yes.
And I enjoy our friendship.
I do too.
For the hour I get you every week.
I enjoy it very much. No, I will say if there's any future hit pieces coming out on me, please mention that I do this show with her. We could use the pub. It's like we got to get the word out there. It's good content. I think we've come into our own. Any future hit pieces, please include that she and I do this show together.
Republican operative.
As I'm getting ready to be fired.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Tell me another ghost story.
Do you want to hear another ghost story?
I want to hear another ghost story.
There once was a Republican operative.
Yes, yeah. Well, it was not a ghost
who
yet.
did a radio show.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. Something that is kind of ghostly.
Okay.
Asheville came out with their tourism numbers, and the hospitality numbers aren't looking great for this peak season. It's still down after the Hurricane Helene issues, which is surprising to me. I would think that the goodwill would have, people would still go up there. But yeah, it seems like they are still a little bit further down. But what they're telling you is that you too can go and get your Christmas tree from any Asheville area.
Yes.
Christmas tree person. By the way, I am on a...
Do you do the whole cut your own tree thing?
Okay, no, because I think that's... But check this out. 2 years ago, I have always been a strong supporter of North Carolina fresh cut Christmas trees, because back in high school, my friend Jason Joyce, he would sell Christmas trees on from his family's farm every year. So I always supported Jason Joyce. I would get my Christmas trees. But, you kind of get tired of, having to decorate and go get them and also. And they're kind of expensive. If y'all, not the people want it, but I was getting expensive. So I said, you know what? This year, 2 years ago, I'm going to get a fake tree for the first time ever. A fake tree.
Artificial. It's not fake.
It's
just artificial.
Fake.
It's artificial.
It is fake.
Golly, I swear.
Because the lighting on that thing is atrocious. I've had to take it down like 3 or 4 times.
Did you do the LED one?
Dude, I can't even find where you put all the holes together. They're like all the same color. Like you would think if you're going to do a fake tree, then you would put all the lighting connections on the actual stem or pole or whatever that thing is, so that when you put it down, ta-da, it would all connect. Because I got it pre-lit, of course.
Of course.
No. I had to go out last year and buy my whole new, $100 worth of freaking lights to put on my fake Christmas tree that was pre-lit because I couldn't figure out. I'm off it. I'm going back. You're going back? I'm going back to regular.
Hey, well, you know what?
It might be this big, only about 2 feet tall with one bulb on it because they're not cheap, but we do need to support our Christmas trees. And if you want to support Asheville tourism, go out there and get a Christmas tree.
I've always been big on, I love the smell of a real tree and everything like that.
Yeah, but you got those cats.
We got the cats and we got the dog. And so when you put water into a real Christmas tree stand, inevitably they're going in there to drink it. And the tree ends up dying.
So Maggie, stop it. She doesn't stop it.
No, God. Well, see, the problem is Maggie's there by herself a good little bit of time. Maggie has free run of the downstairs.
Yeah.
Pretty much all day while work and school and everything like that.
Yeah.
So she's not gonna follow the rules while we're not there.
She didn't want a little flavored water.
No, if I'm not there to scold her, she's gonna do whatever she wants.
Oh no, she does whatever she wants even when you scold her. I've been on the phone with you and you go, Maggie, drop it. Maggie, drop it. Maggie, drop it.
Maggie,
leave
here.
it.
Maggie,
leave
here.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to do that quite a bit. She's gotten a little more ornery in her old age.
Has she?
She doesn't listen as well, but we've been doing the artificial pre-lit thing, and I do sympathize with the finding the plugs to plug in and everything like that. It is a big pain. Last year, I could barely get it to light, only like a few strands, and I was like, well, I guess I need to go get another one. And my son, who despises change in all of its forms, said, no, and he spent the better part of an hour unscrambling, looking for anything that had come loose on the thing, and he got the majority of it lit, so it made it one more year.
Okay,
the tree made it one more year.
So probably
it's not. I'm getting a new one this year, and so I can't decide if I'm going to go real or not. I need to. I for years bought them from Eddie Dingler down there at the Shop and Save.
I know.
He had great deals. But this is Halloween, so you had 2 more ghost stories, and you're going to feel cheated if you don't get to tell the rest.
Well, one of the 2 that I think is very interesting because there's a lot more lore around this, and this is at the governor's mansion. Now, those of you who are familiar with Raleigh, the governor actually doesn't live in the governor's mansion. He usually visits there, and it's beautiful old home right on the corner overlooking. But there is one thing in the governor's mansion that may be a little bit eerie. Mm-hmm. Back in 1891, is this a better voice, by the way, to tell the story?
Yeah, that's not quite as creepy.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah. I don't want to creep everybody out. I can if you like.
It was just me. Other people may be okay. They have the airwaves in their cars separating them. I'm sitting next to you.
So Governor Fowle, who died in the mansion in 1891, He was particularly fond of a custom-made bed he had ordered because the original one that was there was just way too small.
Mm-hmm.
For decades, the bed remained in the mansion's main bedroom. However, in 1969, Governor Bob Scott and his wife found the bed again too small, and it had to be moved to storage. Shortly after the bed was removed, Governor Scott and his wife began hearing a mysterious, rhythmic knocking sound coming from the wall. Where the headboard of the bed had previously
we're not going to get into the cause of this, are we?
Occurring at the same time every night. Now, wait a minute. There was a theory for this, not your dirty.
So we're back to Victoria.
There's a theory. Governor Scott had a theory.
Oh, I bet there's a theory. I bet there's a theory. When you put this into the show prep, you can't have thought this was going to go well. You can't have thought this was going to go well.
Okay.
All right, the headboard, if the ghost headboard was a knocking, keep going.
The ghost headboard was a knocking? Because maybe it was rocking.
Yes.
So Governor Scott, though, speculated the nightly occurrence was the ghost of Governor Fowl, unhappy that his favorite bed had been moved.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Demanding its return.
We'll go with that.
Subsequent governors have continued the story. Former Governor Pat McCrory used to say goodnight to friendly Governor Fowl every night.
Was Governor Fowl a Republican? He couldn't.
No, it had been Democrat. It had to be Democrat.
Had to be a Democrat, yeah.
While Governor Roy Cooper had the bed moved back into the original room.
Aha.
The Coopers, unsurprisingly, reported no such strange noises after the bed's return.
Well, he probably didn't want it. He didn't want the bed moved. Poor Governor Fowl.
Leading some to believe that his spirit was now content.
Ah. Well, there you go then.
Now, while some of the governors have not claimed to have direct experience with the knocking headboard, some of the state troopers and staff who guard the mansion at night have reported strange sounds.
Well, hey.
That did not go like I want.
Like I said, when you put this in there and you read through it, I can't understand how it is you thought it would.
Because I don't have a dirty mind. You've got a dirty mind.
What do you mean, I haven't said a word.
Both of you. Shame on you.
I haven't said a word.
Both.
I haven't said a word.
You have tears in your eyes from laughter.
It sounded funny that, what you inferred from my comments and laughter, I can't control that. I can't control that.
Dirty dog. Dirty dog.
Oh, look.
Well, you know who else is scared?
Who? The Senate caucus for your re-election prospect.
No, they wouldn't be scared. At
this particular moment.
They wouldn't be scared.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
They wouldn't be scared.
They'd be like, get this out.
Get her out. Get her out. The Huntersville record request. So the Huntersville town mayor and councilmen are a little bit scared right now. Joe Bruno, who always does a great job as an investigative reporter local to the local to Charlotte area. He has asked for a text from the mayor and the council about public business in a text group. And they are not wanting to turn it over. But the town manager has said to the electeds, you need to turn over the text. So for all of you who are elected, this story has been written and rewritten 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. Do not do official business on your phone. That is not cool. Pick up the phone and call somebody if you want to talk to them.
Well, and I personally have experience with this, obviously.
I know you do. God, you just started getting on.
Dude, I
forgot about that.
Yes, I personally experienced with this. So, yes, the cat emoji.
Yeah.
Yes, the cat emoji. But here's the deal. Those texts were not in a group text. They were between me and another official. These were not group texts.
No, they were not.
This was not a quorum situation or anything like that. And to be fair, I submitted my text messages for review, and they the majority of them there were found not to be.
I didn't bring this up because
I think you did. Actually.
I did not.
I think you did.
I did
No,
not.
But in my defense,
Okay, yes,
our
we
town
should.
attorney
Yes.
reviewed
Yes.
the text messages,
Right.
and said none of them met the public meeting requirement or discussion of public business,
Right.
Because the framework of the conversation was not into the details
No.
or anything like that.
You were just talking about
And
how great I am.
Exactly. It's all it was. Well, and then they got released. They got sent out,
Yes.
I say by mistake. I don't know if it's by mistake, but, I don't know if I was being sabotaged, whatever. But here's the deal. And so I made a specific comment about people from Davidson who were coming up to Mooresville and yelling at us about projects. And I said, these loud mouths that live in Davidson. I stand by that today. I will not apologize for it. And I mean it to every single person that sent us nasty emails and came up there and yelled at us. I do not retract any of it. But that got out there. And so it was a big hullabaloo and a big to-do. Everybody that lived in Mooresville was pretty much okay with it.
Yeah.
But so I do have some experience with this. Well, then a reporter calls me and acts like I was shocked that that messages were a matter of no. I wasn't shocked at all. They just didn't qualify, and somehow they made it out anyway.
Yeah.
And so, but it made it sound like I was just like dumbfounded.
Yeah.
And I still argue that individual conversations between because text messaging is the most form of communication. They should be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Avoid specifics, avoid talking about how people are going to vote or anything like that. But people have, sometimes you have questions and stuff like that, and it really doesn't pertain to really anything. Mm-hmm. And so, but just release the text messages and let your lawyer vet them, release them, just get by it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Iredell Statesville School Board has had this ongoing text message battle for years going on.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Would you like to hear the last?
Yes, I would love to hear the last ghost story. Is it about my cousin Zebulon?
No, tell me about Zebulon.
Oh, he's on Zebulon Bar Vance. He's got a statue there next to the Capitol.
Is not that one that was taken down?
No, and it's still there.
Is it still there?
It's still there. Yeah, he was.
I thought the Vance one was taken down during the Black Lives Matter riots.
No, it's still there.
Huh.
It's still there. It might have been spray painted, but it was not. It's still there. But no, my cousin Zebulon, who surrendered North Carolina during the Civil War. He was governor. He was the governor that surrendered to the Confederates or to the Union.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yep, cousin Zebulon. My grandmother was a Vance.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so there you go.
Nice.
My great cousin. Way down the line. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's a really neat little thing of history.
It is actually.
So maybe it is about cousin Zebulon because what we're hearing, there are several accounts from an unexplained aroma of cigar smoke that is reported for decades by security guards, visitors, and long after smoking was officially banned in the building. Now, the specific locations, was he a reader? Because the library smells of smoke.
Well, the library, I think, is actually where he surrendered.
Is it really?
I think the library is actually where he was. I think he was quartered there.
Yeah.
Like under house arrest, and I think that's actually where he surrendered.
Oh, interesting.
I'll need to confirm that, or a couple of the resident fact checkers that love to listen and send me text correcting what I say. We'll check on it.
So many people think that it could either come from the library, the committee rooms, but definitely on the upper floors, and that cousin Zebulon may still be hunting it today since he was the one who surrendered to the Union.
Maybe.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So those are my 3 ghost stories. So elevators, cigars,
and beds. And knocking headboards.
Hey, I didn't say that.
Actually, I think that's specifically what it said. I think that's exactly what it said. Well, everybody have a safe and happy Halloween out there. Enjoy yourselves. It's going to be a great night. Stay safe. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Say what you want.
Thank you for tuning in to We're Just Sayin' with Senator Vickie Sawyer and co-host David Coble. We appreciate your time and input as we discuss the issues shaping North Carolina. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we look forward to having you join us again next week for more updates and insightful conversations. Take care and keep participating in the conversation.
Real Country is 550 AM WAME, 92.9 W225BD, Statesville.
WAME and Bunce Johnson Funeral Home are proud to present our national anthem, Bunce Johnson, where every detail matters. Call them at 704-873-7223 or stop.
will see that blessed promised land. Then we'll look upon the face of amazing grace, the man who died to save a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Jesus' glory shines all around when I look upon the face of amazing grace. I have so many friends and family that I prayed for. I want them all to be saved before they die. So when we leave this world and all its sorrow, we'll meet in heaven. Hear Jesus say, "You're home, my child." Then we'll look upon the face of amazing grace, the man who died to save a wretch like me. Heartbreak and tears will all be gone. We fought the battle, the victory's won. When we look upon the face of amazing grace, heartbreak and tears will all be gone. We fought the battle, the victory's won. When we look upon the face of amazing grace. Amazing grace. A thief on each side, Christ was being crucified and paying the supreme sacrifice. But the man on the right side, he invited before he died to be with him in paradise. So if you ever want to be on the right side of Calvary, you must go through the blood of the Lamb. And when you go through that crimson flood,